The world's first manned and fully remote-controlled flight was quite a venture. Until present day, there are a number of people who cannot believe this was actually possible. Of course it did happen, and today we take a look at both the science and the logistics behind it. Here you see us during a HULC flight with a camera team from Discovery Channel for their worldwide series Outrageous Acts of Science, and you have been warned. We won the 3rd season of the program, and around 75 million TV viewers will see this flight alone. Meanwhile, we've been on many more TV shows, both featured and as live guests. This is a German TV program, for instance. Now this is a US show. Here we are on Daily Planet, that's a Canadian magazine format. And this is us in Japan and so on. Hey Christoph, you're one of the logistics masterminds at HeliGraphix, and you were also one of the camera guys in Spain, so you're quite familiar with the HULC stunt.
Hi Toby, hi guys, nice to see you again. As you know, our HULC project was featured in countless online portals, plus most major print publications in helicopter world. Yeah, I've brought some examples here. Look, we've got here, for example, RC Heli Action with a very awesome article about our project in Spain.
That one's really awesome. I love that double-page spread and the format and everything. I think this one's 5 pages. They had another like 7-page article in the next issue, and they're always among the very first to report about news in the scene. There's another nice magazine.
Hey, they put us even on the title.
Yeah, I think we've been on the title more than once, and this one is a full-size aviation magazine, which is pretty cool. And this is RC Rotor World. That's an awesome issue. It's also a bumper issue, and it's got this comprehensive overview with all the technical specifications. So that's a pretty good source of information for everybody.
Because it's a quite huge article with 7 pages.
Yeah, it's 7 pages. So issue 97 of RC Rotor World really is a good read. Even though the HULC video may look super simple, development of this groundbreaking action did not happen overnight. We started out with practical weightlifting tests with standard helicopters, and at the same time did mathematical calculations. It all worked really well, and after a short while we were even able to predict the outcome of practical flights.
Yeah, you wrote that little computer program for it, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. It was more of an Excel program, but all the math was in there for sure. And moving on from this situation, we were able to calculate what a model helicopter that was able to lift a human person would need to look like. The result was our 2 GAU EX7 Megatrons, as described in detail in our other videos.
Flight training started with systematic weightlifting, gradually increasing the load. Once the load is much heavier than the helicopter, the model may start moving around significantly, while the weight remains rather stationary. After a while, we intentionally induced oscillations in order to better understand what causes them, but also to learn how to effectively counteract. After being able to fly around with such heavy loads, we moved on to lifting gym weights with 2 helis simultaneously. To keep it all safe, we simply scaled down the experiment. Here you see us with 2 500 size models.
Yep, exactly. And the third rope here was used to better control the weights, but also to induce those critical oscillations for training purposes. Fast forward to the real thing then. Here are the very first tries with a human payload. Of course we were a bit nervous, but after so many training flights, it worked right from the start without problems. Saskia is a trained stunt performer, by the way, and she's gone through quite extensive theoretical training as well as practical dry runs to practice all kinds of emergency situations. These are the very first flights of a male person here.
Hey, look, it's Stephen. He looks pretty happy there.
Yeah, he was. He was awesome, and he was really enthusiastic about doing the first flight of a man. And with just over 60 kilograms, Stephen is more heavy than Saskia, obviously, but also the HULCs had to work noticeably harder to get him airborne. It again worked without problems.
Finding a good location is always a very difficult question.
Yeah, and I should say it's even one of the central questions because there are so many aspects tied to the location question that you would not normally think of them all.
That's definitely true, because it's not just about the looks, it's about the overall infrastructure of the location. It's about being able to do things safely, it's about legal clearance, it's about camera perspectives, it's about light and many, many more
Yeah,
things.
definitely, many, many more. It's really one big package you would normally not think of.
Here you see us at Costa del Sol in Spain, which was the warmest point in Europe at that time of the year. We visited a number of locations and it was always very different from the pictures and descriptions one has seen before. While this impressive aqueduct here provides for a nice background, the space is pretty limited and there are too many shadows.
Beach view is better in some ways, but you cannot control the environment enough. Consider that including preparations, a HULC stunt easily takes 3 hours, and during that time you will attract a huge crowd of onlookers. Many of them will film the action with their mobile phones, immediately upload the video, and thus take credit for your work.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And sand, of course, is very bad for the helicopters as well, and beach always means lots of wind, lots of wind.
I particularly like this location with the well-known building in the background.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I think
Yeah,
that's
that one
of
was
the
pretty
official
cool and it had several advantages. But yeah, I don't know exactly. Somehow it did lack something.
Yeah, that's very true. I had the same feeling, and I can tell you what it was. I think it's, look at the grass. It's too chaotic a structure. You don't really see a shadow, and it is so hard to tell whether Saskia is actually flying or not. So this is something which really made it a non-ideal location look-wise.
Yeah, overall it was not good enough. So we kept looking.
Yep, we checked many locations and finally got clearance for this one. Basically a large hotel situated just outside the renowned Spanish mountain city of Mijas. The environment could be controlled very well, it was a beautiful backdrop, the light was perfect, the ground was excellent for filming and flying.
Well, at least when it wasn't foggy or stormy as hell, which very unfortunately it was most of the time.
Oh yeah, that was insanely bad. I remember that for like 3 days or something we had fog and rain and storm.
Yeah, it was absolutely hell.
Yeah. Downside here were the hard surface and the 10 meters drop to the left side. But since both helis are equally strong, it is not possible that one heli pulls the other one away.
That's true.
Therefore, a HULC flight is very stable sideways. And after the latest test flights, and after all the test flights we had done, there was no concern we might drift too far to either side.
And we should add that Saskia was totally confident with the location.
Yeah, that's right. Also because we did so many dry runs with her. Now, some might have preferred to see her wrapped into tons of safety gear with nothing but her eyes visible, but pretty much everyone else was glad she looked the way she did because, I mean, this is a very special occasion and you don't want to show up like, you know.
Yes, especially that she did not wear an action camera on her head. That would have looked just plain stupid.
Right, right. That's why we found her the dress, so she could wear a chest strap and the GoPro still had clear vision.
Much better.
Yeah. Finally, there's of course much more to that project than we can pack into these few minutes. We nonetheless hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes tour.
And if you guys want to see more insane and fun stuff, then simply hit that subscribe button now.
Right now, I should say. It's free, you know?
Yeah, see you guys.
Bye-bye, ciao.